Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, October 3rd, I believe. Yes. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting, because that is what I love to do all day, every day. I have various social medias that you can follow me on. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so please go follow me over on there if you would like. I also have show notes, so links to things that I will be talking about will hopefully be linked there because there is so much to talk about today. All that, if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog is down below, or if you're on my blog already, everything is already there. I also work at a yarn store. It is called Pearly Girls. It is in Spring, Texas, and I will leave all the various things, all the places, so if you want to check us out either online or in person, or both, that would be wonderful. DFW Fiberfest happened, everyone. That's kind of crazy and amazing, and we have so much to go over. I have so much yarn to show you all. I have projects, just regular progress that I have made. I have realized I have forgotten something. I feel like I'm forgetting other things too. Yes. I have so much yarn over here. The mystery knit along starts this week, everyone. If you watch this the day this comes out, it's starting tomorrow. Can we even? I can't. It's October. That's crazy. I just don't even know. So we got a lot to go into. So let us stay hydrated today if that is what you are wanting to do. And grab something tasty to drink, something to snack upon, something to craft upon. I just got an email. Laundry to fold, an animal to snuggle, whatever it may be. Hopefully it is bringing you joy, or I can help you get through a task that is not as pleasant. And you can do all of those things or none of those things, whatever, and you can come back and join me for some crafty chat. So, everyone, where do we begin? I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot. And we'll just go ahead and get started, shall we? So, I have whoopies. Please don't let me be losing stitches. Okay, good. I have some, obviously, yarn acquisitions from DFW, which was absolutely amazing. Getting to meet so many wonderful people, viewers, thank you. Just so wonderful. Having not gotten to do that type of thing in a really long time, it was just a reminder of how wonderful people really are and how incredible the knitting community is and can be. So it's just so wonderful. I was there with my mom and my sister. I did take clips on my phone throughout the weekend. So I'm going to put those together. Whether that is in this episode, I don't know. If I do, it'll be at the end. If I don't, it'll be in a completely different episode. So you just kind of hold that loosely. I don't know what I'm going to do at this very moment, but we will figure it out. And it'll either be at the end of this episode or in another one, like I just said. I've had a lot of knitting progress. I did finish a sweater that I have forgotten to bring out here, so I'll go get that in just a minute. But I did post pictures of it yesterday. That is the rug sweater by Yunko Okamoto. I just show you pictures. Reasons to follow me on Instagram. I post there more frequently than I record. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it. Okay, so I finished my rug sweater, everyone, and I've gotten to wear it, and it's been so incredibly nice. It's not, like, it definitely gets really hot during the day. It gets up to the 90s. It is what it is, but the mornings, everyone, have just been so beautiful. And the evenings, just so gorgeous. And so getting to wear these actual knitwear now that it's kind of a little chilly in the morning and the evening is just really wonderful. Makes me so happy. I used various colors. This pattern is written for just 2 colors. You have your main color and your contrasting color. I had a lot of these balls of yarn, and they're over there. I forgot to get them, but they were actually destashed to me from a friend, and I added some stripes to the sleeves. This cuff is different than the other cuff. That is the only... I thought about doing completely different sleeves, but it was just easiest to copy what I did. And then I changed the cuff on that. My contrasting color is Lion Brand, Woolies. I love it. This is my second one. Will I make more? For sure. I just love it so much. So that is my finished object for this episode. I have worn it quite a lot in the past couple days, and it just makes me so happy. It looks so good with jeans and just everything. I love it. I wore it to work. It was great. And it's such that because it's knit at a bigger gauge and because of the way that the yarn is that I used, it is pretty open and airy. It's not like you can see through it necessarily, but it's just very breezy, which makes it easier to wear it here right now because I want to wear it now. So it just all worked out in my favor. The next test knit that I'm working on involves this yarn. This is my heartstrings. I believe it's heartstrings. Now I can't remember. It is a test knit by Tiff Nealand. It is by, Heartwood Stripes. Excuse me. I don't know why I was thinking heartstrings. Heartwood Stripes pullover by Tiff Nealand. This is completely done minus a sleeve. Ta-da! Oops. We have a first sleeve and my herringbone cuff. I know the sleeves look very short, but they're fine. I tried it on last night. It fits great. Here's the other side. Still needs a sleeve. It's great. We've got the hem. Wonderful. Just plugging forward. It is a yoked top-down sweater. Obviously we have our garter stitch stripes. We have the brown stripes are just regular stockinette, and it's just great. It's been a fun old time. It's super straightforward, which is awesome. I'm using Barocco Ultra Wool DK in obviously these colors, so it's a fun time. Doing great. I am feeling a little iffy about this. This is all I have left of this color. I know we have more. I got it from work, but I would like to not have to get more because it would just be a little bit. Oh, the cat was hopping down from the couch. So yeah, all I have to do left is the sleeve, and I will be done. I'm not sure. This deadline is definitely coming up, but I have no doubt that I can get this done soon. So that will be another sweater done for our non-existent sweater weather, because it's that time of year where everyone is sharing that sound clip and that SNL skit. I believe it's SNL. I don't really know anything about SNL. I didn't really grow up watching it, which is fine, but I just don't know very much about it. So I assume things are on SNL. That I think it was on SNL. It really doesn't matter. You've probably heard of the soundbite that I'm talking about. Next up, another test. Living in my Rose and Seams bag that is pumpkin spice themed, and now we're in the full season of pumpkin spice. You know, I am wearing an orange shirt. I didn't plan it that way, but it does happen to fit quite well. I believe I'm in the middle of a row. No, I'm not. Haha. Look at me go. I am so great. I'm not in the middle of a row. This is my Hemlock sweater. Goodness gracious. I need to get things together and remember things. Oh, no, that's not what I want. It is by Joey of Winter's Weather Knits. Doesn't have the name on that one. Yeah, Hemlock sweater. Haha. I was right. My Hemlock sweater, and I am currently working back and forth on the front or the back. I don't remember. Whoops. It is a textured, twisted stitch all over. It is cropped. It is very hard to show you really anything how this looks right now. But I have divided. As you can see, I've been working on the front or the back or whatever this is, and then I will go back and pick this up. I will say, last time I showed you, I believe I was down here, so that's pretty awesome. I believe. I could be wrong. But I also have a very fun addition. This is a pre-DFW acquisitions, but I'm just really excited about it, so I'm going to share it anyway. I have this little maple leaf. I got it as a set. Please focus. And I have the other stitch marker on another project that I will show you soon. But this is from Monster Stitches. She is a maker of stitch markers and progress keepers, and she was just the sweetest. She had so many beautiful things. I wanted all of the sets of stitch markers, and also her friend Casey of Casey Knits, and is someone who I have test knit for before, was also there, so I got to meet her. It was just wonderful, and just a grand old time. So that's just a little bit of what is to come. I got the one set, and it was just the maple leaf, and I thought it was very fall. She pulled out a couple of like more autumnal sets as we were looking at them, and I was like, I'm gonna set these out and you guys get first dibs since you're standing here. And we were like, yes. I'm using Dulce from Barocco. I also got this from work. This is the Onyx colorway. Yeah, so super fun, very fuzzy. Let's see, what is the fiber content on this? It's actually 50% cotton, 20% nylon, 16% alpaca, and 14% wool. So it does have a little bit of fuzz. You wouldn't expect this to be cotton or 50% cotton, but in fact it is. It's very nice. I feel like I talked about this. No, I didn't talk about this. I talked about another project. I think it was my Rain or Shine shawl. But I may have mentioned this to someone at work. I honestly don't remember. This never sheds when it's fine to shed, but it always sheds when I'm wearing like light colored clothing or it's an inopportune moment for shedding. Why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's just that I don't notice it when it's fine to be shedding. Is there really ever a time that it is fine shed? But I don't know. I'm enjoying working on it. I need to pull it back into rotation once I get that sleeve done of the Heartwood Stripes. Got the name right. Once I get that done, I think I'll definitely throw this back into rotation. This is not due until the end of October, so the deadline got pushed back, which is nice. So, Rows and Seams, Elena, she made this bag. I don't think I'm currently, nothing to show you in her other bags of hers that I have, but. So, my next test knit, because I have no self-control, I have 3, and I have one I keep forgetting about because I haven't actually cast it on yet, and I literally just got it, and I'm actually going to be frogging another project for it, but my yarn is up there. We won't talk about that this week because there's just so much other stuff to talk about. But yes, that's 4 sweater test knits. I am very aware. I'm very aware. I don't know. It's gonna be fine. This is also living in a DFW acquisition, and I'm so excited about. I have not had one of their bags before, and I really wanted to. They are so nice. I just can't even. So, but these are By the Bay bags. She is from Texas. Please load. Please focus. All the links will be in the show notes, so I'm going to do my best to remember everything that I talk about. It's so cute. It's maroon. She had so many fun colors and sizes and all that fun stuff, and I couldn't decide, but I knew that I could always use a small one. And of course, because if you didn't know, I'm an Aggie. I went to Texas A&M. Our colors are maroon and white cream color, whatever you want to call it. Maroon. Can't go wrong. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, I have needles in here that I need to put away. So in here, I am actually doing the Fall Frolic sweater. How many times can we say this word until it sounds weird and doesn't sound like an actual word? By Samantha Gurin. I definitely took videos of this while I was working on it on the plane on my way back from DFW. So here's what I have so far. It is color work. It is top down. We've got 1x1 color work up at the top. There's a couple sections of this, and then you divide for the sleeves, and it's a plain body. And then we've got some beautiful sleeves. I'm so excited. And the color work will be on the sleeves as well. My main color is a new to Pearly Girls yarn. It's nothing super fancy, but it is quite amazing, and the price point is quite good. We have lots of colors, and it is good for sweaters, for fingering weight sweaters, especially color work, if that is what you're looking for. It is Lannis Light, and it's just a regular 2-ply fingering. It's nothing fancy, but. And then to go with it, I went stash diving and pulled out this skein of yarn, which I've been holding on to for a very long time. I don't remember what year, but at one point, one of the times when my mom and I visited Loop in Tulsa, because fun fact, if you didn't know, I am originally from Oklahoma, so we were visiting family at the time. And it was before Loop turned, or Loops or whatever, had turned into a really big, what it is today. And it was a big deal, but it wasn't like as big as it is now. And so I actually have a skein of Woolen Boon, and this is Blueberry Jam. And I love it. But I just love the rusty color with the blue. I think it's a really nice combination. I don't really have a sweater like that. I'm sure I do somewhere, but I couldn't think of one. So this is what we're doing. But it's a really fun 1x1 pattern. And then we've got some slip stitches over here to separate each section. So I'm just plugging along. I haven't worked on this in a while. Since I got back from DFW, actually, which was a week ago yesterday. So I do need to pull this out, but this is not due until November, as is the one that I haven't cast on. So I'm fine. I'm fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. If I just sing about it enough, it will truly be fine. So yes, the Fall Frolic sweater by Samantha Gurin, Woolen Boon, Barocco, By the Bay bags. By the Bay Bag Company. Excuse me. Sorry, I was getting that wrong. I also love the handle. It's very similar to like the Fringe Field bags, but which I have a few. I just have 2 of them, but I love being able to support someone who is relatively local and is just so sweet. And it was just super fun hanging out in her booth for a little bit. So that is that project. I did finish this sock. Ta-da! when I hold it like this, it looks very strange, but it is in fact a sock. So I brought this with me to work on while traveling, and I got pretty much the entire foot done while flying to Dallas, which was nice. And then I got the toe done one of the evenings, and for some reason wasn't able to Kitchener stitch the toe, so I actually did that on Saturday. But I now have a finished sock. This is just the vanilla sock on 9-inch circulars. That is how I prefer to do my socks, by the Crazy Sock Lady. The yarn is mustache yarn in Daily Eggs, and then the cuff, heel, and toe are just a random gray mini skein that I had lying around. But I'm super happy with how these turned out. Do I have the second one even started? No, but that is for a very good reason, and I'm about to show you. Because, everyone, it's Halloween season, because it's October, and I needed some spooky socks. So I pulled out this skein from my stash that was, yes, it's just so wonderful. And I cast on a pair of socks, another pair of socks. And this is my yarn, as you can imagine. This is like purely Halloween. Or could also be Oklahoma State colors. Go Pokes. I did not even think about that, but that is pretty funny. My sister went there, and so this yarn is Vesper sock yarn with nylon in the Skeleton Key colorway. I had this in my stash. It came as a little sock set, so there's that, and then a little mini of the orange. Ta-da! I'm so excited about these. So excited. And you can tell how excited I've been about these, or how much I haven't wanted to work on anything else, because I have started the gusset. I literally started these on Saturday. Everyone, and I have knit the entire leg, and I've done the heel flap, and I've done my heel turn, and now I'm ready for the gusset, which I've started. I don't know if it's the yarn. It's also a combination of the pattern that I'm using, which I'm about to show you in just a minute. But I can't put these down. I think it's also because I don't really want to work on anything else at the moment. I've just been kind of like, I just want to work on socks. Because I want to wear socks with my Birkenstocks and my Doc Martens. And I need more socks. I need to be prepared, and I'm not prepared. So I'm working on these. So you can see here that I've got this cute little cable running up down the front of my sock. And I wanted to kind of keep with the theme of the spooky sock vibes, so I searched for Halloween socks, or I don't even remember what I searched for, something like that, and it pulled up a little Hocus Pocus socks. Do I remember the designer name? No, I do not, but I'm going to look this up really quick. But, everyone, so Hocus Pocus socks by This Handmade Life. And I've had this in my queue for a long time, and also in my library for a long time. And so that worked out well. It's also a free pattern. It's even better. And so I downloaded the pattern. I was at work, I wound up my yarn, I was ready to go. And I looked, and there was only one size for the sock, which is totally fine, but I have very small feet and feel very particular about how my socks fit, and the size was definitely going to be too big for my feet. So, we got a little crafty, as we do, because we're all crafters here, whether we knit or crochet or do other forms of craft, we are all crafters. And I put the cable pattern, which is the point of this pattern that I was interested in, the cable chart onto the vanilla sock pattern on 9-inch circulars by the Crazy Sock Lady that I've been using because the size fits my feet really well, because that was what I used for these. These fit amazing. Have I woven in my ends? Not at all. Have I needed to wear them since finishing them? No, but the time is coming. And so I just kind of finagled my way through. It really was not that hard in the end. I just like followed the directions for the vanilla sock and then knew that I had a right chart and a left chart for the cables. So I'm just going to switch which side, if it's at the beginning of the front or the beginning of the back, or the front of the sock, the front of the leg, if it's at the beginning of that row or that section, or if it's at the end of that section. And so I'm currently doing the right one, so we can see here. So it'll be along the side of my ankle, or the front of my ankle, on the right side. So this is what I have so far. I'm pretty proud of myself, actually, for having not done that before with sock patterns and feeling like I don't really know what I'm doing with sock patterns enough to make those kinds of changes. But I did, and here we have a beautiful pair of socks. The only thing that I would say is that if you did do that, you would probably need to mark what row you finished on when you would divide and do the heel flap and the heel turn, which is really not that bad. So very easy to do. And also on here, I have the other pair, or the other stitch marker that came with that little set from Monster Stitches. This is a very pretty, like, ambered color bead. I love it. And I need to charge the battery pack, so we're gonna go do that. My bad. Okay, wow. It has been a couple hours. I apologize if this looks different. I had to plug in my camera, like I said, and then I went and ran some errands because I needed to do that. And I'm back again, so we're going to try and pick up where I left off. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure I was talking about my socks, my Halloween socks, that I love and adore, and I'm so excited to just continue making progress on them. I was also inspired to do these because they're Halloween socks and they're super fun. But also, Sam and I will be going on a little camping trip at some point this month. Whoops. And I just love the idea of taking finished object pictures while camping in these socks, and I think that would be super cute. So that is my goal. We do things for the gram. I almost said for the Insta. Same thing, but for the gram, you know, we do them. This is living in a very old favorite bag of mine. It's a little pyramid bag, and it's got a bunch of different types of sushi on it, and I love it. It's very convenient, it sits up very nicely. So, that is all. Those are all my current works in progress that do not involve new yarn. Because I do have a new cast on that I couldn't help. Whew, I'm much warmer. It has gotten warmer throughout the day. And so we're going to talk about them first, and I am just so excited. if you have never been to DFW Fiberfest and you have the ability to go to it, it's in Irving, Texas. It's in the Irving Convention Center. And what's really crazy is that when Sam, my husband, and I lived in Dallas, the first like 10 months of being married, we were literally like 10 minutes away from the Irving Convention Center. And it happened while we were living there, and I didn't go. I don't know why I didn't go, but I just didn't go, and I'm really sad I didn't go, but I've now been. I've been with my mom and my sister. It was super fun getting to meet everybody, like I said before, and just seeing all the beautiful creations that people make, and it's just really a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I think I love everything equally that I got. Let me just say that there. I love everything equally. There's nothing that I love more or less. But I will say that I think one of my favorite things about, or one of my favorite booths, and I think she definitely deserves like one of the best booths, just the way she had it organized, and that is Macy of Mace of Skeins. It was just so much fun, and it was so cool to get to meet her. And Macy, if you're watching this, hello. I'm so excited to meet you, and I am knitting with your yarn right now, and I'm so excited. It is like making me so happy. It is all I want to work on, plus my socks. And obviously I have lots of test knits and I can't do that, but I really want to. And yes, so Macy is based out of Fort Worth. I think she said Plano. So she's also local to Texas, which is really cool. She's just such a super wonderful, cute, bubbly personality. If you have the ability to knit with her yarn, do that. If not, follow her on Instagram and then maybe eventually knit with her yarn. So I got 3 skeins of her Full House lace, which is 75 baby Surrey alpaca and 26% silk. And the camera is not accurately showing this, but this is the most beautiful hot pink. And I don't know why, but there was something about, like, I have just recently have been yearning for a hot pink sweater, and a fuzzy one at that. And so I kind of went in with my list to the festival, and I had a general idea of what I was looking for, and if I saw the perfect pink, I was gonna do it. And I did. I found the perfect pink, and it's fuzzy. It's called Hot Kiss. I don't remember if I said that, but I am just so excited. So I've shown you the ones that are currently hanged up. Here's the one that I'm working from. I hold it very gently because I don't want it to like fall apart on me. But so what am I making, everyone? I am doing something that's a little, it's not different necessarily, but it's definitely like, you wouldn't look at the pattern and be like, oh yeah, of course that's what you're using. I made some adjustments. It's not perfectly to the pattern gauge-wise necessarily. It's a lighter weight version of the Amara sweater by Rachel Knits Things on Instagram. I've test knit for her before. I remember when this sweater came out, and it's been in my queue for forever, and other people that have made it just really sell it. I've wanted one for so long. And now is my time, and it's gonna be hot pink, Hot Kiss, and here it is. I'm terrified I'm gonna lose these stitches because they're on metal needles. What am I trying to do? Let's scooch it this way. Look at that. Even I am just so happy with this. It's gonna be the loudest, brightest, happiest sweater, and I am so excited to be able to use Macy's yarn and to be able to support her and the amazing yarn that she makes, and just make this beautiful fuzzy sweater with these cables. And there are bobbles, and I definitely have messed up on some of these cables, but I'm not going to change them because ultimately it doesn't matter. It's okay, it's fine. But we have these cable panels on the front. They're also on the back. And then on the sides we have brioche. And it's so squishy. And then on the back is super cool. It's a very interesting, I remember like seeing that this was a thing and then just immediately forgetting about it. So when I was setting it up and getting ready to do it, I was like, what in the world am I doing here? Like, this doesn't make sense. I thought I was knitting this in the round. There's a split hem in the back. And it's so cool. So I don't know if you can kind of see that, but it splits between that little cable chart. So that's in the back. And like, look at those cables. Can we even? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I am over the moon with this project. I am loving it so much. It is definitely, setting it up and getting everything like going was a brain teaser for sure. There are so many charts. That's not to say that it's a bad pattern, excuse me. Not to say that it's a bad pattern or badly written or anything. It's very well laid out. It's just that the way that the charts are, there's a lot of like switching back and forth and trying to remember where you are. Some of the charts are different lengths than others, so you'll have to like eventually mark them differently because you'll be on like row 25 and then you may be on row 27 on the other chart. It's just, there's a lot to keep track of. So I thought about printing it out because normally I read things on my Kindle tablet thing. I've been too lazy and haven't printed it out. So that is literally the only reason why I haven't printed it out. But I am so happy with how this is turning out. I am over the moon with the color. I just can't even. I hope it shows up better on my computer when I edit this, but it is just the brightest, happiest pink you can ever possibly imagine. I'm so excited. And it's cropped relatively, and yeah, so the pattern I believe is written for 2 strands of suri held together, and I didn't, though I would have, that wouldn't have been a bad thing. I would have enjoyed knitting it 2-stranded. I didn't want like that heavy of a sweater, and also I didn't need that many. I didn't need 6 skeins of suri. So I got 3 skeins, and I'm doing it single-stranded, same needle size. And wow, I am so excited. The only downside of this thing, this sweater, this beautiful sweater, is that I cannot read the subtitles of the K-dramas that I watch while I knit this, which is very unfortunate because that's all I watch really, and granted there are other things that I watch but without subtitles, but I love watching K-dramas, and with all the charts that are involved, you start off with 5 different charts and then you cut it down to 3, but that's still a lot, and it's definitely not a memorizable pattern by any means, which is totally fine. Again, this is not a problem about the pattern. This is literally just it being a little bit more complicated. Wouldn't be a beginning cabled knit for sure. Probably would be an intermediate pattern, I would say. A very experienced beginner. But yeah, I'm just so over the moon. And again, if you don't follow Macy on Instagram, I think she also has a podcast as well, which is very cool. Go check her out. Go follow her on Instagram. If you can, try her yarn. It's just so wonderful. And I can't wait to continue to make progress on this. I think I'm a little bit more than halfway done with the body, which is pretty incredible. So, and I don't think there are cables on the sleeves. I think it's just the brioche. So theoretically the sleeves will go more quickly, but we will see. Anyway, I am so over the moon. I couldn't like not cast that on when I got home, and I immediately wound it up. I think I finished, or I needed my 8s or whatever I'm using, and I purposefully did not bring any needles that I needed for projects for yarn that I got, so I would make myself work on things that I brought. And so when I got home I was like, okay, I have to do this. This is just, it keeps calling my name. I need this now. And now I have it, and I am so happy. Just so over the moon with how this is turning out. And I just love how the baubles look. It's just such a nice yarn. And I definitely do not have a hot pink sweater. That is for sure. No hot pink sweater here, but I'm gonna have one soon, and I'm so excited. Maisie, your yarn is amazing. So moving right along with things that I have not cast on. I'm gonna go kind of quickly through because now I'm running out of space on my SD card. So it's a lot of things, and potentially I also have the clips from the weekend, so I don't want it to be too long. In the vein of fluffy things. Oh man. It's not all fluffy, but I definitely got some big fluffy things. And I love it. I'm so excited. So I have been a big fan of Moondrake yarns for a long time. I've knit with her yarn before. In fact, recently it was in one of my test knits earlier this year, and so obviously I follow her on Instagram, and I remembered recently that she had shared a new base that was coming called her Foie base. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's called F-U-W-A. Foie. It's a cashmere base. It's cashmere, 30% brushed cashmere, 70% superwash merino. It looks like Surrey, and it is even softer than Surrey. It is just so amazing. And so she posted these pictures of all these colors lined up together. Just the way that the colors were put together, it was very inspirational. I was like, I want to see this. I want to see this for sure. And so when we were putting together our game plan, that was like on the top of our list, that Rochelle happened to be like the first booth that we saw when we walked in the doors on Friday. We were the first people in her booth. It was just super fun. We got to hang out with her for a little bit, and it's just so wonderful. And she's also from Oklahoma City, which is very cool. So though not in Texas, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm originally from Oklahoma, so another fun connection that we have. Another Rachel Knits Things pattern that I have wanted to make for forever, which is the Cleo cardigan. And it's fuzzy, it's like a v-neck, it's got some garter stripes in there for some texture, and everyone, I'm going to color block mine. I'm gonna do like a top-bottom type situation, although I could like do big blocky stripes. Ooh, that'd be really fun. I'm so excited. And I know that I'm going to say that about literally everything that I'm going to show you, but I am just, it makes me so happy, and the joy that this brings me, I cannot even begin to tell you. So I'm so excited about this. I hope I can accurately display it and communicate it to you. But so I have these two colors. I have Rose Quartz, which obviously is the pink, and Sand, which are this light taupey brown. Pink, yes, there was kind of a vibe. I had a nice palette in general, really. So I don't know, this may be next in the line, but there's some other things. I really want to cast on everything. But I have 4 test knit sweaters that I have to do, and the mystery knit along. Like, things are getting ready to get so busy, and I remember last year I did really good with planning my test knits out and the mystery knit along, and this year I did not succeed, but that's okay. It'll be fine. I'm enjoying my time with the Amara sweater, and I may do the Cleo cardigan next. I don't know. We will see. But either way, I'm super excited, and like, I think little pearly buttons with this, I think would be so pretty. Or like a light wood, or the mother of pearl vibe. Or like white plastic. I think that would be really pretty. Or maybe something with sparkle. Who knows? I have options, and I obviously have time to think about it, but I'm so excited about this. It was so hard to pick the colors though, because she had them lined up how they were kind of in the pictures, and I saw them and I was like, oh no, now I have to pick which colors. I don't know. I don't know. But it will become a cardigan. So excited. I'm just so excited. So next up, let's do this one next, because I think this one came next in the order of wandering around. So another person that I had done some research on, of like seeing all the vendors and who I wanted to definitely check out. Another one was Destination Yarn. And I actually, once I saw her logo, I realized that I had a skein of her yarn. It's somewhere in here. I don't know where it is, but I don't know how I got it, but for some reason I do have it. And so she was super nice, and we got to talk to her for a while, and it was really cool to hear her background of like how she got into yarn dyeing, and just the way that she had everything organized was so much fun, and you could definitely see how things were inspired by the collection and the topic and all that kind of stuff, which was super cool. And I really appreciated the depth of the research that she had done. And she had one collection that was like, it was like toxic or like dark histories or something like that. So it was like all the dark stories and the dark parts of history. And there was one, like for example, there was something that people used to put in like blushes, I guess, like way back in historical times, that was like very toxic to people and putting on human skin. And so it was based off of that, and it was just the whole collection was that kind of thing, which I thought was super cool. And I had never heard of something with that type of collection topic. So it was super cool. And then obviously Destination, as you can imagine, a lot of the other ones were based off of destinations. Sorry, I'm getting too excited and I'm running out of breath. But she had a Paris collection, and if you are new to the podcast, you may not know that I did a study abroad. It was part of my major in college, but I did a study abroad in France for 10 weeks in 2015, so a while ago. but in 2015, and it was a life-changing experience. It was just so amazing. And so therefore, French, the whole shebang holds a very dear place in my heart. And so when I saw that she had a Paris collection, it was like, oh, well, something from here for sure. She also had some amazing looking slub that I was interested in, but I ended up going with the Paris collection. So right before, I think it was actually like on the corner of this booth, we ran into Casey of Casey Knits, and I was just so excited because I knew she's going to be there, and getting to meet her was just so amazing. She's such a sweet person, and having test knit for her before and done some other things is just so great to be able to meet her. And she's got some of the best like one skein projects or like two skein projects that's kind of like you're at a special event like a fiber festival and you don't want to get a ton, but you want to get more than just one skein. So I test knit all eyelets on me, which was an asymmetrical shawl. It's in this box of shawls over here. I don't know where exactly, but it is over here. And so I got, and in fact my mom and my sister also got the same colorway, Parisian Fog on a sparkle base. And it is just so, so pretty. But here is the label. And it is Superwash Merino, Nylon, and Stellina. Parisian Fog. Silver shiny. I'm so excited about this. So, it may be one of those, but also she's got some other ones. And she mentioned that she may be doing something along those same lines, so I may save it and maybe test it or try and test knit her next idea, but we will see. We will see. This is a little bit later on down the line for sure. So next up are all from the same person, but two projects. So we'll start with the single skein. Pink and purple. We had a vibe. This is from Apothecary Fabrication, and she had the like most beautiful rich colors, and her bases were amazing, and she just had finished a swatch of like a linen cotton blend, but it was heavier on the cotton, so you could definitely feel the cotton, but it had a little bit of linen, so it had a nice drape. It was just stunning. And it was I had never seen a base like that before, which is super cool, and she had a big space. It was wonderful. She was super sweet. And I am going to make the Perfectionist Trap, also by Casey Knits, out of this one skein. It's technically one of those, like, it calls for technically 2 skeins of DK weight, but it's one of those ones where you can adjust it to however many yards you have available. I also can add to this if I want to out of my stash, but I love this so much. It doesn't, I don't think she had colorway names, as there are no colorway names on this ball band, which is totally fine. But it is fine merino wool. It's delightful, her delightful DK base, and we've got some gorgeous speckles. And I just loved the fade of the skein. I thought was just very beautiful, and I can't wait to wind it up and see what it looks like. This is probably gonna, once I have a pair of 8s free up. I've been knitting a ton on 8s recently. I don't know why, but all my 8s are taken, and they're test knits, and I have some others that are floating around, but the ones that I know of are currently test knits, and I need to finish those first. So that's motivating me to get those done before I cast this on. Also from Apothecary, I had the plan, excuse me, there's just so much fuzz, it has gotten into my mouth. I've had the Charles V-neck by Joji Locatelli. It's a V-neck sweater. It's not a super deep V, and it's drop shoulder by Joji Locatelli, like I said. It's DK weight. I've had it in my queue for a long time, and so I went in looking for that. And she didn't have 4 of this one color, so I'm going to also color block it a certain extent, and I got 1 extra skein of a different color to go with it, and it's gonna be so good. So excited. So here are my colors. Beautiful browns, these rosy browns, and then this dark chocolatey brown. I'm just so excited. So I was gonna do the Charles V-neck, but then this new V-neck that Jessame just released or is releasing soon, I believe is a DK weight, so I could also do that instead, depending on the vibe and look and yardage that I'm going for. So I may do that. Either way, it's going to become a V-neck sweater of some sort. I just don't know which one. But it may just end up being the Charles V-neck because I really do love that sweater. And I've wanted to make one for a long time. So just those, again, those speckles, it's just so deep and there's so many layers to the colors. It's just so wonderful. And then here's her label. I don't remember if I showed that to you. Boop. So there's that. I got the Monster Stitches stitch markers. And then my mom and I got a pair of hexagon knitting needles. I've never had a pair of what I would call luxury knitting needles before. These are so nice. They're so nice. These are from Brick House Fiber Arts. They are handmade knitting needles. They are hexagon circular knitting needles, and they truly are hexagons, which were super nice. And so we got to sit down and knit with them for a little bit, and they were so nice. They were, the 2 ladies running it were also super nice. They were very chatty and just like walked us through how they do it. It was also really cool, and granted I don't know if it's exactly the same, but my older brother, he makes flashlights for a living, which I know sounds very specific and very out there, but he makes flashlights from metal, like blocks of metal, and so it kind of reminded me of that a little bit, and I wonder if it's the same same process. But yeah, these are super cool. The cord is like super flexible. I was really worried going through security flying back, because they did not check a bag, that they would be grumpy. But the cord is just like super nice, and they're twisty, which is nice. I love that. And then they also have the size. Boop. Very clearly printed on the needle, which is really nice. That's one of the downsides of ChowGoo, I think, is that the etching on them of what size it is so small, and it's only on one of the needles. This is on both of the needles, which is nice. The tips are super sharp, which I love. And I got them in size 6, which is normally what I knit my shawls out of. So I'm hoping, it is my plan to knit my mystery knit along on these needles, because it's a whole new experience. So I'm going to put these needles in my mystery knit along bag, ready to go, because I need to wind this yarn this week. In fact, I have it on my to-do list for tomorrow. Because everyone, if you are local to Pearly Girls, we are having Mystery Knit Along hangouts, parties, whatever you want to call it. We're having a cast-on party this coming Thursday from 10 to 1. We will also be having one on Saturdays from 10 to 1 as well. So if you can't make it during the week, we have one on the weekend for you. We will just be hanging out and working out on songs, and then if Stephen West has a video for that week, which he normally does, we'll have that playing on our TV. So if you want to come and hang out with us, I'm going to be there on Thursday. And then I may be working some of the other days. So that's also pretty cool. If you want to come hang out, work on your Mystery Knit Along, we would love to have you. The time is upon us. It is here. It is a few days away. And I'm so excited. So excited. Wow, that was a lot. And this camera's an old camera. It has lived a good long life, and it's still working just fine. It's just the battery life really does not last very long, but that's okay. It is what it is. I wasn't gone for super long though, so I didn't have like overnight to charge, but that's okay. It does its job. I'm grateful for it. That's all that really matters. So that is all that I have for you all this week. It's been a lot. Just for sake of length, I'm probably going to put the DFW, like the little clips and everything in a different video. It'll probably be shorter, but that's okay. Or on the shorter side. It won't be super long, depending on what I do with it. So we will see. I have to figure out what I'm doing with it, with all those clips. But that is a tomorrow thing. That is not a today thing. So I have all the various social medias. I have the show notes. I have the yarn store information. I am going to do my best to remember everything and everyone that I mentioned in this episode of who we saw and who I got stuff from. And if I forget anything, or if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Or if you just want to say hi, would love that. If you weren't able to make it to DFW, I'm really sorry. I hope to meet you sometime in the future, whether that be at a different Fiberfest or maybe a DFW. Who knows? Or maybe you'll come to Pearly Girls one day. I don't know. So that is all that I have. And yes. I'm still just going to stick to recording every other week. I feel like it helps with content and having enough or a lot of content, and also because things are going to be busy. But we will see. No promises. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. You are wonderful. I hope you've had a wonderful past couple weeks and you continue to have good upcoming weekends and weeks and all that stuff. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful. I've got test knits. I've got my Amara sweater, my hot pink sweater, my hot kiss sweater. I'm so excited. And my socks. I am so excited. And my finished rug sweater. There are just so many happy knitting things this week to share with you all. I'm so excited. I love getting to share all this with you. But yes, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I know this was maybe on the longer side, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Maybe it was inspirational. Go check out all these wonderful makers that I've mentioned. They deserve all the love. They do such a good job. And yeah, so thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. You are wonderful. You are enough. And with that, I will see you all in a couple weeks. Bye.